How do we become significant?
From time to time, I go to Alex to just walk around Alex. I go there and I come out there. I weep. I weep because of lack of accountability and lack of leadership.
Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power, Kabelo.
Becoming significant means how do you make a difference in the lives of others?
There was a misalignment for me between what I was doing and a sense of making a difference, which is something that was inherent in who I am. Education is an incredibly complex problem to solve.
So 84% of our learners can't read for meaning. That's what is seen.
There are 25,000 schools, there are 400,000 teachers, there are 75 districts. So it's a very complex system to create impact and change through.
Difficult question.
I was dealing with trying to get schools to understand the importance of using valid data to inform the support and interventions that they make.
It was very difficult for districts to hold schools to account because they didn't have access to aggregated data. They don't know what the attendance is of their teachers and learners. They don't know what the kids' marks are. So how are these guys making decisions about where they allocate resources?
I was hired to lead this big program that the foundation was very excited about called Data-Driven Districts. And that is where I met Giles. It was interesting, like here's a guy that's prepared to take a massive risk in leaving whatever career he had. I think he had been a teacher at some point, to start this little foundation on this hope that he could embed data-driven decision and leadership development in the education system of South Africa, which is a massively ambitious idea.
I know.
Kabelo.
When I met Alison Bengston, she was a chief director in the Gauteng Department of Education, and she was responsible for 5 districts. And I went to her and I said, Alison, I've got some funding to support one district, and we want to deepen the work we'd been doing in the first 2 years in that one district.
And so I said to him, you can't work with one district, you've got to work with all 5.
Which is what happened, and it was one of the best things that could have happened. It was very hard in the beginning. It really worked out well in the end, and it solved her problem. It really embedded her mind into what was possible with Triple D.
So the New Leaders Foundation was working hand in glove with Alison's 5 districts, and we were driving a change process between the district and the district schools, helping Alison implement interventions.
Sometimes you find that someone might be passionate about education, but they don't have the nuanced skills of how to really kind of take it to the next level. And that's why then putting in an Alison and a Giles, who was more like at the beginning an entrepreneur, and putting them together.
The DDD venture is a perfect example of how fellows come together with different skills, but have a common vision around addressing a need that the country has. For example, in this case, education.
I've started using data-driven district program since 2016 in terms of running the school. It offers informed decision-making that is data-driven. It gives the school curriculum performance of each learner and each grade. It brings all these important aspects of teaching and learning together under one umbrella.
It's a wonderful tool that they provided, the dashboard, where we're able to have data at our fingertips.
But one of the really cool stories that we saw was a principal that started tracking the attendance reporting on Triple D and noticing patterns whereby teachers were absent for certain classes. And what he figured out was that it had to do with the taxi routes. And because the teachers were getting dropped off at an inconvenient time, which then made it difficult for them to get to the school, he went and then engaged the taxi buses and asked them to change their routes. And they did. All that lost learning time is now being resolved. And this is in rural Eastern Cape. So fast forward to today, what we have is a very robust process of collecting one version of the truth that is validated at the point of capture, then compressed and submitted into a national data set that's then aggregated and then visualized and pushed back within 12 to 24 hours back down so that it's available for the school to use.
How do we take it to the next level, being able to use the data to drive consistent interventions that improve the quality of our children's reading? The interventions that we're putting in place around maths and mother tongue-based bilingual education, where we're supporting learners to learn in their mother tongue.
Now we can see that in a resource-constrained environment, which our education system is, without quality data to guide how you apply your scarce resources, you really are lost. There's just no way that you can be effective.
Who can tell me what is 8 times 12?
I know.
Cabello.
It's 96.